This is Stock Talk, and today is May 3rd at 4:53 p.m. Eastern Time. Let's start with SPY, which tracks the S&P 500 on the 180-day chart using the Think or Swim platform. So yesterday, looking at the 180-day, we zoomed in on the current downtrend, and we talked about a support. The support area was located around 261.46, and we said that we were looking for some kind of support when we were on the downtrend the past few days. And this was the strong support because we gapped up on this day. We found support on this day, so it would be reasonable to assume that we would find support today. Now, we also have a resistance around $268. What exactly happened today? Well, let's zoom in. Recall yesterday we also talked about a market mover. What was the market mover today? Well, it was the unemployment rates that came out during pre-market hours. So what exactly happened? We came down to the support, and the support still held at that point. What happened next? You guys see this major candle bar. Let's look at the 1-minute chart. SPY actually fell over 1% at that point, right? So everyone thought we were going to go on a downtrend. But what happened? We pulled straight up. Not only did we pull straight up, we closed higher than when we opened the 4-hour candle, and then the second candle was higher than that. What does that tell us? That tells us that we, once again, have found a very nice support. Now, let's look at this on the 1-year chart just to confirm. You can see this more clearly how, look at this candlestick, right? This is a very nice reversal candle. This candle looks similar to which candle, guys? It almost looks similar to this candle, right? It's obviously not that long, the tail isn't that long, but this is a pretty nice reversal candle. This is the type of candle we want to see when we want to see a possible uptrend. So, what am I looking for the next few days? Well, looking on the 180-day chart, we still talk about this lower high. SPY is still in a bearish pattern despite this reversal candle, and that in the next few days, we can still expect some sort of push to, well, to where? To 268 again. That's the resistance area. And if we do push, let's just try to extend this line all the way to the right, since this is more applicable. You guys can see that it has a few days to go, 2 days actually, to go to where we talked about the intersect area. This is where the lower high and the previous resistance, this resistance over here when we gap down, occurs, right? Doesn't mean we will surge all the way up in the next 2 days to test this resistance, but we can reasonably expect in the next 2 days to there's a possibility to expect that we'll test this resistance at 268. So regardless, if we come up here and we do test, you guys can see that at some point the slanted line will come down. So even if we don't get past this resistance, we will at some point test this bearish pattern next week or in 2 weeks, right guys? Even if we just kind of fluctuate between these two support and resistance areas. So we talked about that yesterday. We're going to be fluctuating between these two areas for a little while. Today is just another confirmation of that. Nothing really change in that aspect. Looking at TVIX, which does track volatility, we know that volatility follows the VIX, and right, we have hold of support at 676, right? And look at what happened here. Well, once again, if you guys are still in TVIX, if you bought in around 676, that's the support. So doesn't mean that the support will hold, because volatility again does tend to go down. So we can easily we can see this coming down and breaking the support should SPY continue to push up. Should this become a nice reversal area, we'll see it. We'll see TVIX go down and SPY continue to go up. Okay, looking at 4/CL, which tracks crude oil futures, we are still seeing crude oil being bullish, right guys? Crude oil, yesterday we left off, I think somewhere here, where we were at the support when it was falling. What kind of candle did we form? Once again, we found reversal. This was the reversal candle, guys, right? Red bar followed by a green bar. We have a reversal, and now we're trending back up. No surprise there. Crude oil. So crude oil does follow GUSH or GUSH, and we've been talking about this one for a while. Interestingly, GUSH went down 5% today. So what does that say? Well, let's look at the 1 minute chart before we get too excited on the inverse, okay? We said that this was a support around 30.75. What happened today? We bounced off of the support once again, even though it fell 5%. So right now, looking at the 180-day chart, we talked about a support, but at the same time, there is a resistance around 33.50. Okay? So one thing to keep in mind is this might be another good buy opportunity. Are we going to buy right now? Well, I wouldn't take a chance right now just because you do see this. Do you guys see this? We are consolidating at this area, but we've been making, see this pattern, guys? This temporary lower low, right? So this is just something to watch. It doesn't have to mean anything by any means, right? One thing to do, one thing to keep in mind actually is on the 180-day chart, crude oil is pulling up. GUSH, you can see that fell below its EMA line, right? It fell below its EMA line. This is something to watch. So are we going to take a position into GUSH? Not right now until we can see it pull over the 20 EMA. Let's take that position into GUSH. But until then, I wouldn't take it. Just because we've fallen over the 20 EMA doesn't mean that crude oil is out of the bullish state, because we obviously do see crude oil being bullish. It's just GUSH currently isn't pulling higher right now. Looking at the 3-year trend, remember guys, lower highs on the 3-year trend. What did we talk about? We said that each candle bar represents a weekly open and close. And that yesterday, even the day before yesterday, we had a pretty nice green candle, as you can imagine, that was breaking over this 3-year resistance. What happened today? We pretty much made a flat candle now. All right, what does that mean? Tomorrow, Friday's close, is once again a big storyteller on what might potentially happen for crude oil for next week or even the week after that. Looking at last week, right, we talked about the same scenario. Will it close over $32.50 or $33? It did not, right? This time, same story. Will we be able to close over $32.50 or $33? We'll see tomorrow. At that time, we can see if crude oil can push to even higher prices. Does that mean we're going to go into drip, which is the inverse? No, right? Not really. Looking at drip, we talked about this pattern on the 1-year chart. We said that every time it's broken the support, it's kept going down. Support kept going down. Support kept going down. Support, right? What happened today? We saw a green candle. Are you guys excited? I hope not, because there are green candles intermittently right inside this consolidation pattern, meaning almost nothing. This does not show a reversal pattern. Let's look at /GC, which tracks gold futures. Okay, gold futures looking like we're having some sort of reversal, right? Gold is once again looking bullish. So if you guys were able to take an opportunity today on JNUG, looking at JNUG, right, we talked about this pattern as well on the 180-day chart, in such that was this going to be the support? And if this is the support, are we going to get another confirmation? We obviously didn't get a confirmation today. So let's look at the 1-minute chart just to see. Gold pretty much pushed up during pre-market hours, and it kind of fell back down to the where? Bottom VWAP. If you think gold is being bullish at that point and it fell to the bottom VWAP, that would be a buying opportunity for gold. And you guys can see that it actually traded between the bottom VWAP and the top VWAP. Bottom and the middle VWAP until we kind of consolidated at the area. So if you guys were in JNUG yesterday after this sell-off, this was a risky play. I didn't like the entry yesterday. I still don't really like the entry today, but if you guys made a profit, that's very good. You guys can see that we are in an uptrend, obviously. Gold can come down, but only to bounce up and retest $16. I mean, that's possible given /GC is on the uptrend, right, guys? All right, /NG, which tracks natural gas. Okay, so natural gas we talked about this as a possible support. What happened today? Well, there was some sort of support until we collapsed, right? We collapsed. What does that show for natural gas? Natural gas is obviously on the downtrend now. Where's the next major support? Well, it's at 2.665. Let me just extend this to the right. 2.665. There's still some room to fall, which just means that DGAZ could be a potential play, right, guys? So here's DGAZ. We do see that DGAZ is still on the uptrend, bullish for DGAZ. For those who are in DGAZ, I think you're still in a pretty decent position. For those who want to look for entry for DGAZ, I would still look for a better price on DGAZ before getting in. But regardless, right, guys? This is a horizontal pattern, but currently, if it does come down to the 20 EMA, there's a good possibility that it will reach 29.80. I think that's a safe number. $30. Let's not bet on $30. Let's bet on $29.80. Look at these candlesticks, right, guys? It never reached $30 before it came plummeted down. Always be a little conservative in your trading just in case it doesn't hit the previous peak. So maybe even this time you might be a little more conservative, $29.50. Let's maybe that, right, guys? So there's DGAZ right now. So that's it for the commodities. Let's take a look at some of I got a lot of tickers for you guys today. So I'm going to start with FTK. So, whoa, I'm not sure what happened to the graph here, but that's interesting. All right, FTK, right? Look at this. Every time there was earnings and it came down, consolidated, and then, right, it consolidated for a long time. What are you going to expect for FTK this time? I mean, we're on a downward trend. This is a lower high every single time. The earnings came out, plummeting the stock, it seems like. Actually, the earnings didn't even come out. We have earnings coming up. Oh, my bad. So this is obviously not something I would invest in. We have earnings coming up in a couple of days. We're on a downtrend. It doesn't matter which way it goes. Even if it starts going up, I'm not going to go into this one. Right, guys? IRT. Okay. I like this kind of pattern. Very nice. Okay, I like this kind of pattern. So today it fell 1.27%. Let's take a look at the 1 year chart first of all. Okay. Yeah, I like it. This is a really nice pattern because now we did start falling under the 20 EMA. If we can see another push up tomorrow, this could be a good entry point for IRT. Now, where are we going to sell? Well, you guys can see that what acted as a resistance? The 200 SMA acted as resistance. So if it does start trending up and you start buying in, let's just hypothetically say a 945, there's a 3% chance of profit. Set your stop loss at 1.4%. That's not too bad. I like this trend because earnings came out, pulling it back up. Now, if we can see a reversal tomorrow, the continued reversal up, that's the point where we want to go in. This is a very nice, you guys can see that, right? It's fallen so much that now we've had a support line going up. This is something that I want to see when something is on an uptrend. Good call out. Let's put that in where? Our watch list. Okay. IRT is a good one. Let's look at SEDG. All right, SEDG, we can see that at one point we were so overextended over the 20 EMA, we started consolidating at the peak. And now on the yearly chart, we're below the 20 EMA line. This is a little dangerous given that earnings are coming up in 6 days. Once again, let's hold off from buying this one since it's currently making lower highs. It's below the 20 EMA. With earnings coming up, let's see what earnings does to it and then consider another position. So feel free to call that one out again in the future. KEM. So KEM has this, yeah, I think someone told about this nice horizontal pattern, right? Once again, I do like this sort of pattern because it is relatively predictable. Doesn't mean that it will hold up every time, but for now, we can see that this is the support. Good buying area, right, guys? This is a support. Just one thing to note is we if you guys did buy in at this area, this is very nice. We'll get, again, earnings everywhere, but we do have 2 weeks till the earnings. We have been making this lower high, which is slightly concerning. So this is kind of trending like JCPenney, right, guys? Remember JCPenney was, I think, making lower highs. I think that was the ticker, even though it has held a support very nicely. So just, if you guys do make an entry, I think you guys can make a profit. So just make sure that you guys set your profit and your stop loss. This time, I would be a little more conservative than these descending lines. I would probably put my profit at 5.4% with my stop loss. Well, with my stop loss, where, guys? Am I going to set my stop loss down here? Nope. Am I going to set my stop loss right here? Nope. Where am I going to set my stop loss? Well, I'll probably set my stop loss, looking at the 180-day chart, below this candle right here, so around 1776. So if we do kind of start falling in at 1776, we just say, okay, we made a wrong trade. Or you can set it even, you know, down here, 1764. We made a wrong trade, even though it came down. Let's take another trade and look for another pattern. But I do like this pattern. Good call out, KEM. Next one, ABBV. Okay, so ABBV, we do see a support around this area, so let's draw in a support area. Okay, I really like this pattern. Once again, I think you guys are getting way better at calling out nice ones. Why do I like this pattern? So just be careful. You guys can see that this uptrend bouncing off the 20 EMA. This is what we want to see when it's on an uptrend, right, guys? One thing to keep in mind is look at the 200 SMA. It's been acting as a resistance. This was the gap down area, right? What's happening now? 200 SMA acting as a resistance. So this is just something to be careful. I know we're on an uptrend, but the 200 SMA is so close that you guys might be able to take a position, take like 2.5% instead of stop loss. Yeah, even that, it's a little dangerous. I like the pattern. I don't like where we are right now. Does that make any sense? I hope it does. So I wouldn't look for an entry on this one. I would actually watch this one, learn from this one, and see what happens. Because right now, it's a little too dangerous for the risk to reward for me. This one's Macy's. Yeah, we talked about Macy's, right, guys? What did we talk about last time? I drew in a support at around 30.92. This was the resistance. This was the resistance, and we talked about in the past, it's broken above in the past only to come down, right? It's broken above the support. Where was the reasonable buy area? Remember I made the Macy's video in the past? I said that the buy area was at the 200 SMA. This is a good buy opportunity. When it starts falling back to 29.51, I would look for taking a position. But right now, why should I take a risk if I were to get in right now? What's my potential for profit to my potential for loss? It's certainly not worth it right now. If it continues going up, let's just say Macy theoretically goes up. I don't see it doing this, but let's just say theoretically it starts going up this much. Am I going to be sad I missed this opportunity? No. I am absolutely not going to be sad because I've seen in the past that it can easily come down. We can easily see a double peak for it to come down before earnings does another catalyst up or down. Right, guys? So Macy's, again, 200 SMA. Let's see, PAYC, Paycom Software. All right, without me telling you guys what's happening here, what is happening here? Okay, I like this pattern. Okay, but be careful. I like this pattern. What happened to the earnings? Looks like earnings brought it down a little bit. Okay, earnings brought it down a little bit. But every time it hits the 200 SMA, this was a support. Is this a good buy opportunity? Potentially. I am putting this one on my watch list. I really like this pattern. Thank you very much for calling it out. But what do we have to wait for? Okay, look when we dropped here. We had to touch the 20 EMA, test it, got rejected. Once again, found the support, then went up. Since we've dropped this much, we need some sort of consolidation and testing of the support. Yes, we tested it once today. Maybe this is not a test. I wouldn't call this. We tested it once today. I want to see a couple more tests given this massive drop before we invest in this one. This stock is obviously on an uptrend, right? Near-term downtrend, but doesn't matter because we like this pattern. I really like this pattern. Put this one in your watch list if you're following. And yep. Look at this candle. Pretty nice candle structure. Yeah, so let's wait and see. Let's wait for it to test, and when it's starting to uptrend, that's when we can buy in. Right, guys? Let's wait for it. Wait for this one to get to the 20 EMA. Let's see if it gets rejected back down, retest this area, then for it to go up. That would be a better sign. But I like the position right now. If you guys entered a position right now, I think if you set your stop loss maybe down here below this $148.48, I think that's that could be reasonable as well. But you know, I like to kind of test it a little more given this big drop. NVIDIA, okay. NVIDIA is one that's been on my watch list for a while because we know that there's a support at 216.47, and that what is acting as a resistance, the 200 SMA, right? So once again, we're at the 200 SMA line, right? We got to be a little careful, especially with earnings coming up. This is just something to watch and see, I think, because I feel like NVIDIA has the potential with earnings for catalyst to go up, right? It has the potential to go up, but at the same time, we're at the 200 SMA. We might see a downtrend, you know, before it goes down or up based off of earnings. So let's just wait on this one. I just don't really like the position for NVIDIA given where we are right now. Oh, hey guys, which ticker are we gonna go over next? Square, of course, because I'm in Square. So we talked about Square having support at 45.49. Earnings came out yesterday, which brought it all the way down. What happened today? It got pushed up over its previous close. So I hope you guys didn't release your position at the support. Right? It wouldn't have made sense to release your position at the support when people are buying in at the support. So looking at the 1-year trend, what are we seeing? Well, we're seeing it's holding over this. Actually, I want to show you the 3-year trend for, right? How many times have we tested this 20 EMA line? We've tested it already twice. That's a pretty good sign showing that we might have another potential leg up on Square. Positive sign today, given, you know, the major earnings drop. Actually, I think it met expectations for earnings, but there was some Bitcoin fiasco with Square. Doesn't matter. News doesn't really matter to me that much. What really matters is its trend and movement. So Square. BLOK is the last ticker that I'm going over today. So looking at BLOK, I'm going to show you guys on the 1-year chart. Why does it? Oh, okay. I guess this is one that kind of got ticker got released earlier this year. Okay, so BLOK, right? What kind of pattern are we seeing? A lower high each time. We're seeing some consolidation. We actually don't even have that much info to make a good decision point. I can easily see it falling back to 1838. At the same time, I can't see it go up. We just don't have enough information to make this trade, and especially on this ETF that was released. Okay, so right now, you know, even your potential for profit isn't that much, right? It's look, you guys can't really make money on this trade. Look at this volume. It's so, yeah, this volume is exceptionally low as well. There's so little money, especially if you're doing day trades, that it's not even worth it for your time. So anyways, there's a couple of tickers I have written down. So IQ, Amazon, BABA, Facebook, PIRS, I will review on Sunday Stock Talk, which is our next Stock Talk. Remember, guys, try to limit to 1 ticker per person because we do have a lot to go over. But thank you, everyone, for all of your submissions. I thoroughly enjoy analyzing all these tickers for you guys as we work together, build our portfolios, get into the positive trend stocks and ETFs while you know, just following and making our accounts grow. So thank you so much. I will see you guys on Sunday for another Stock Talk. I will see you guys Sunday. Later. Happy trading.